This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rebecca Vargas.
And along with John Scalzi, I'm Don Brennan, and happy Wednesday, happy hump day.
We're halfway through the week.
I don't want to let this week go, though. The weather is so fantastic.
Can we keep it for a little bit?
Yeah, it's not going to last long.
Why do you always do this?
In fact, I think by Friday it'll be gone, so just,
Okay.
relish each of these days, because, there are going to be many of them.
Washed away. Friday's going to be, by Friday it'll be gone, this weather?
Oh, the low humidity will be gone.
Oh,
I think
that's
we'll
what
be back
you
to
mean.
the higher
Okay.
humidity. Yeah, and there may be a scattered shower around or two. Well, we'll cover that in detail in a few. Daytime hot. Well, yesterday we hit 86 degrees, so again today I think it'll be another warm one, but relatively low humidity will make it feel fairly comfortable out there. A mix of sun and clouds, a little bit of an increase in the high clouds today, but still no rain in the forecast for today. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
John, taking a look at traffic this morning. Suncoast roadways moving along nicely at this point in the morning at 5:02. Everything else as far as Bradenton and Manatee, Palmetto, no issues or delays. And as you move down into Sarasota County, be it by 75, 301 or 41, those two are moving along well. So keep it going. Keep it up.
Well, topping our news this morning, the fallout, it continues after the city of Sarasota's decision not to let voters decide if elections should be moved from March.
ABC 7's Ray Collins has the story.
I move approval.
Is there a second? Hearing none, motion dies for lack of a second.
What was your reaction when no one backed your motion?
Frankly, I was stunned.
Suzanne Atwell was the only commissioner Monday night who wanted to ask voters if they want to move city elections from March to November.
I was hoping for further discussion, and I was quite frankly summarily dismissed.
Atwell and others point out the turnout in March is only about 15% on average, whereas in November, it's usually 4 times that number. But the other side says they'd rather have fewer voters who know who they're voting for than a larger number of voters who are there for other elections as well.
If you put this in a general election cycle, it moves to the bottom of the ballot. These really critically important issues for us locally then do not get the coverage and conversation that it deserves.
Among the 4 who voted against the move was Commissioner Shelley Freeland Eddy, who herself was elected with less than 1,000 votes. So why did she vote against giving voters the choice? She said she had too many questions.
Questions about whether or not there's greater voter turnout in November of even-numbered years versus odd-numbered years, and questions as to whether or not the voters want to change at all. So based upon all of that, I felt like there were more questions than answers and that I needed more information.
But when the mayor asked for questions, she only had one.
Any further questions?
Just one.
Actual suspects mobilized.
One person not staying silent is taxpayer watchdog Matt Woodall, who plans a petition drive to force this issue to the ballot. And he says he's optimistic.
And there literally isn't anyone that we speak with that says they're against it.
And Atwell hopes he's right.
And a lot of that is how they move quickly on it, and we'll see what happens.
So in light of the cost of an election in March, combined with relatively low turnout, that cost taxpayers $9 per ballot cast. In the newsroom, Ray Collins, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Ray. Well, April marks National Child Abuse Prevention Month, and a horrific incident in Manatee County is highlighting the importance of making sure you know where your children are and how they're using the internet safely.
27-year-old Omar Freitas Velez is charged with 2 counts each of lewd and lascivious acts and traveling to meet a minor to engage in sexual acts. The victim, a 14-year-old boy. The sheriff's office says the two met on a dating app called Grindr. The teen agreed to leave his home early Sunday morning to meet Velez in the clubhouse of the teen's apartment complex. Now, authorities credit a security guard with noticing something amiss and immediately contacting authorities.
And we basically caught him in the act. And then we took in the suspect and he ended up admitting to it. But unfortunately, it was just a little bit late as far as stopping the entire incident from happening.
Never meet anyone from the internet in real life. That's the rule that we teach children, that it's not something safe for kids to be going to meet adults or even other children from the internet in real life.
The sheriff's office is asking anyone with more information in the case to contact them. And Manatee County Superintendent Dr. Diana Green says she's not quite sure what she's going to do with the last one-room schoolhouse in Florida.
Well, according to the Bradenton Herald, Dr. Green visited Duet Elementary School yesterday in Manatee County, and she says she's not recommending renewing the school's contract under a different leader, but doesn't want to immediately recommend what to do. Some options on the table for Duet include turning it into a destination for field trips or handing it over to the Duet Community Association and let them run it as a center. Next month, the school will hold a public workshop and hear Green's and others' thoughts on what they think should happen to that one schoolhouse there.
I think she needs to hire Half Pint, Laura Ingalls, and bring it full circle. So Little House on the Prairie returns.
I do like it as a place for field trips,
yeah.
Historical significance. So
I agree with you there.
I think it will all work out.
Half Pint can give the tours.
Yes. And in Sarasota, community members can add their input on the type of person they'd like to see serve as their next superintendent of Sarasota County Schools.
And the current superintendent, Lori White, will retire next February, and the school district is working with the Florida School Boards Association on a nationwide search for her successor. As part of that process, residents can voice their opinion on what characteristics are important for a superintendent by taking an online survey or attending one of 4 upcoming forums. The first forum will be next Tuesday, that's April 26th, in the Northport High School cafeteria from 7 to 9 in the evening.
Pineview School in South Sarasota County is receiving some very high marks. U.S. News and World Report has named it the best high school in Florida and the 7th best in the entire country. The ranking looked into which schools best served all of its students and which produced measurable academic outcomes. It's great to know that. I mean, Pineview does incredible. I've known that since I've moved here, but one of the best in the country?
Top 7. Wow.
Impressed. Well, it seems like drivers for Manatee County city buses are in short supply.
The county is prioritizing bus routes to determine which ones to shut down, at least according to the Bradenton Herald, who also is reporting that there's not enough staff to operate the buses. Short staffing caused by retirees and resignations. Another reason is that the county is struggling to hire drivers because of low pay for the position compared to other counties. Proposed fare hikes were presented at a recent commission meeting, and fare hikes will raise enough money to hire at least 2 more bus operators if they are approved.
Meanwhile, Manatee County is working to make its swimming pools heated year-round. According to the Bradenton Herald, city officials are proposing to turn John H. Marble Pool in Bradenton from a seasonal pool into one that's open all year. The only other year-round heated pool in Manatee County is the G.T. Bray Pool off of 33rd Ave in Bradenton. The county is also proposing plans for a new gymnasium and plans to improve its splash park, also add more shade and picnic pavilions at its parks and rec centers. That's great to see. Good, it keeps the kids in there all year round, have something to do, and stay out of trouble.
They're busy. Those pools are busy.
Oh, yeah.
They are,
Yeah,
and they
really
definitely get cold in the winter. Comparatively speaking, obviously. Up
Yeah.
north.
I get cold in the winter.
We're used to our blood. What happened to our blood?
I don't know. It's
thinned
thinned
right
out. Yeah, it's thinned out. Even the ospreys, they come here in the winter, obviously to enjoy some warmer temperatures. And we had a pretty warm winter this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our ospreys are growing bigger and bigger every day. Our little Sunny, is growing bigger and bigger and probably going to take flight pretty soon. Of course, our birder expert on again this week to give us more information.
Oh, good.
Now, Ann and Steve, who we met last night at the Best of Sarasota party, I had a question about the ospreys. Ann said, well, do we know where the birds go? Is there any way to track where they go when they're not here during the winter? Where they're staying, where they're perched?
I don't know.
Where
They're not tagged. Our birds
I don't
are
know
not
if we can tag them. Should we talk to Mo Green about that?
Yeah, right.
John, climb the tower and tag
And tag them, that's right. You can't get near them. I mean, they're so protected. You can't touch them.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm sorry. We can't tag them, but
Yeah.
it's okay. Okay.
Our birder expert does believe that these particular ospreys are probably residents. They probably don't migrate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But they're not in our.
They became full-timers.
Oh, they don't live in that nest all year long.
So
no.
they live out in siesta and
nest
they come in.
that nest, but
Interesting lives they lead.
yeah.
All right, coming up soon. Art comes in all forms, and the Ringling Museum of Art embraces the many different types of artwork. We'll show you a different type of art that they plan to highlight. Stay with us.
Shop GoWildHonda.com. Lease a new Civic for $169. A Civic, just $169. Now at GoWildHonda.com or visit Wild Honda Sarasota. It's gotta be wild.
Since 1928, Kerastan has been setting the standard in carpets and rugs, producing non-allergenic wools that won't promote the growth of bacteria or dust mites like other carpets will. Kerastan wools actively remove contaminants from the indoor air, making your home healthier. And there are many colors and patterns and textures to choose from. Come see for yourself.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Attention, this is an important message for anyone who had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to their heart or lungs. Did your IVC filter move, break, or cause organ damage? The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, even death. If you or a loved one suffered serious complications, call IVC Filter Helpline now. You may be entitled to compensation. IVC filters are designed to prevent blood clots. If your IVC filter moved or broke and you suffered heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, or if a loved one died as a result, call IVC Filter Helpline today. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You'll pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call today for a free confidential consultation. Don't fight this alone. Call IVC Filter Helpline now.
Please call 800-897-6764. That is 800-897-6764.
Did you hear? All Children's Hospital is now Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital.
There's a lot to a name,
especially when that name is a world leader in healthcare.
We still deliver the same compassion we provided for 90 years.
Plus the excellence you expect from Johns Hopkins.
Together we can conquer the biggest challenges and offer your child the very best care.
When it comes to kids, choose Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital.
Shop GoWildHonda.com. Lease a new Accord for $189, just $189, or 0.9% APR. Now at GoWildHonda.com or visit Wild Honda Sarasota. It's gotta be wild.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Another beautiful day. We're starting it off nice as well with a 57-degree dew point. It's still very comfortable out there. Low humidity making it feel kind of crisp and coolish, I guess, with 62 air temperature. We have an east wind coming in now at about 6. That east wind will shift a little bit more southwesterly as we head into the afternoon and kind of bring up the humidity a little bit later in the day. But it's really tomorrow when we'll see the humidity start to increase. And even tomorrow should be a pretty nice day. We have fairly clear skies out there right now, a nice bright moon. We do have a little packet of energy moving through the upper atmosphere, bringing us some high cloudiness, but it's certainly not affecting our temperatures. We're pretty much right where we were yesterday at this hour with 59 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia. Then you get closer to the coast and the temperatures increase to the lows to mid 60s. 65 in Venice, Bradenton at 61, Parrish at 61, Inglewood at 64. No rain anywhere across the area. The fair weather cloudiness continues again today. We may see some clouds build in inland areas, a few, and that high thin cloudiness coming past from time to time today, but none of it is going to produce any rainfall for us. Again, the showers and thunderstorms are in progress back in Texas. In fact, some fairly heavy rainfall moving through Dallas right now with big thunderstorms and frequent lightning strikes. All of that closing in on the Houston area a little bit later in the afternoon. So if you're traveling this morning, catching an early flight out to Dallas, this will probably have moved past Dallas by the time you arrive in the afternoon. But nevertheless, there could be some airport delays as we may get some showers redeveloping. And then around the Houston area, we may get some showers a little bit later in the afternoon. There's that high cloudiness I was talking about coming across our region as a little shortwave moves across. I think we'll probably see a little bit more humidity tomorrow because the high pressure ridge is going to move out into the Atlantic and our winds will shift around. But for today, again, a nice flow generally out of the east, southeast, and then in the afternoon, a little bit of a sea breeze will build, keeping the coastline just a tad bit cooler. Inland areas, again, I think we'll probably see temperatures warm in the mid 80s or so. But once again, I think we'll probably have a relatively low humidity for this time of year. So mostly sunny skies. onshore afternoon wind, and no rain in the forecast again today. Next chance of rain will come as the front, now back in Texas, gets another little push and kind of falls apart as it gets closer to Sarasota. So as it moves through late on Friday, and we may squeak out a shower or two. That's about it. High, thin clouds coming by from time to time today. Again, no rain in the forecast. That little short wave moves on out of here. Get a few scattered showers out in the Gulf tomorrow, but tomorrow we remain dry here on shore with some very nice weather shaping up for us. Forecast looks like this. For today, again, southeast shifting southwest winds at about 10 knots, becoming more northwesterly late in the day. And we'll have some beautiful weather over the next several days with that slight chance of a Friday shower and clearing over the weekend. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Taking a look at your commute right now at 5:16. It looks like in Manatee County things are moving along pretty nicely. Palmetto bridges still look great, and so does the interstate at this point. 41 301 just starting to pick up in volume, but no major slowdowns this morning. Right now as we head into Sarasota, we're seeing some pickup on 41 in both directions, and there's no major issues as far as the interstate. And the arteries out to 75 look good. Bee Ridge looks good at this point, even though there's construction there. And as we head into South County, let's pull out there. All right, and I don't see any major issues to report. An update now on Sarasota's Thunder by the Bay, making a move on Sarasota's Main Street.
And that's if organizers can get enough support from local businesses there. The annual motorcycle event brings in tens of thousands of people to downtown Sarasota and millions of dollars. However, businesses on lower Main Street say that money is not coming their way. The 4-day motorcycle rally will now likely take place between Orange and Osprey Avenues on the east side of Main and the upper part of Main. Organizers will have to get at least 2/3 of property and business owners on board there. Now, the next Thunder by the Bay rally is scheduled for January 5th through the 8th of 2017.
Well, when you think, oh, you want to say something about it?
No, I think it's a good rally and it brings people, but the businesses say they're not making money and it's kind of blocking other businesses from coming to their business. So it's a
well, maybe this will help to hear what they have to say now that it's going to potentially move
It'll
up.
stay. It's too much money goes to good charities to keep it away.
Yeah.
Now, when you think of the Ringling Museum, you think of painting and sculpture, but a new exhibit focusing on glass will soon get a lot of attention.
The Ringling's Alice Murphy explains.
The Ringling is breaking ground on the Cutler Koval Glass Pavilion. This 5,500 square foot building will house the museum's growing collection of European and American studio glass. Stephen Hyde tells us more.
This is a major new initiative by the museum, focusing along our new studio art collection. The building will be adjacent to the John McKay Visitors Pavilion, and will be one of the first things our visitors see as they walk into the museum through the historic gatehouse. The glass pavilion is actually multifaceted. We'll have a gallery space for a studio glass collection that will be rotating over time. But in addition, we've been able to have the building contain components for the historic Oslo Theater. The studio glass collection at the museum has been under development for the last 3 years, and currently we have several hundred works in that collection, and it's a collection that's constantly growing and evolving. In fact, the piece I'm standing in front of right now is a piece by Beth Lippman, not only glass artist, but just a very well-respected artist in contemporary art today. Groundbreaking is on Wednesday, and construction will begin soon after that, but we'll be full on in construction in June. We're expecting that period of full construction taking about a year, and we intend to open the facility in the fall of 2017. Very early on, we decided we were going to make this space free to everyone. And so it's our gift to our community and to our visitors who come and support us. They'll have the opportunity to go into the space, experience this beautiful collection, and without having to pay any entrance fee whatsoever. And hopefully they'll buy a ticket to the hat as well. We're seeing many more people from Sarasota and Manatee coming back multiple times to experience the museum, because it's not this is not a stagnant institution. This is one that's constantly reinventing itself and constantly changing. And there's new programs, new activities every day of the week.
Now, Circus Sarasota is taking its show all the way to the nation's capital. The circus is partnering with the Smithsonian Center for Folklife and Cultural Heritage to present the Circus Arts program next year. It's all part of the Smithsonian's annual Folklife Festival in Washington, D.C. The show is expected to draw as many as 1 million visitors. Now, the Circus Sarasota Big Top will be center stage at the National Mall during the last week of June and also the first week of July in 2017.
Wow. Taking it on the road.
Yeah, it's amazing to be on center stage like that.
Yeah. Well, up next on Good Morning Suncoast, tech giant is cutting ties with thousands of its workers.
And Alexander Hamilton may no longer be on your $10 bill. We'll explain when we come back.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford because Sarasota Ford guarantees you our lowest price on every new Ford every day. Save on America's best-selling truck, 39 years running, the Ford F-150, Fusions, Escapes, over 800 vehicles on-site or online, all on sale. Buy with 0% for 60 months. And now, get up to 2,000 trade assistance. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. Sarasota.Ford.com.
U.S. Med has great news for anyone living with diabetes.
If you have Medicare, private insurance, or prescription drug coverage, U.S. Med will ship a new glucose meter right to your home.
And shipping is free.
My new meter uses only a speck of blood, so it's less painful than my previous meter.
If you have Medicare, private insurance, or prescription drug coverage, you're covered with U.S. Med. We're welcoming new patients, even if your current provider can't supply you anymore.
I don't even have to test on my fingers anymore. I can test on my hand or forearms, and it's more accurate than my old meter.
So call U.S. Med today, and you'll have a choice of 2 great meters.
One that actually speaks your results, or a meter so small it fits in the bottle of strips.
Act now, and U.S. Med will include a free prescription discount card. We'll also send you a free diabetes cookbook. This is your opportunity.
So call U.S. Med today.
You'll be glad you did.
Sunset Fiat is Italian style. Sunset Fiat is fashion forward. Come see the all-new Fiat collection at Sunset Fiat with new 2015 Fiat 500s priced from $12,999. Sunset Fiat is cool and sexy with freedom to move and room to evolve. Visit Sunset Fiat in Sarasota or shop online at FiatUSAofSarasota.com.
It is 5:23, and a decline in the PC market is taking a toll on Intel.
And your $10 bill could be getting a makeover. ABC's Diane Macedo and Ryan Smith have this morning's business headlines.
Money job cuts at Intel.
The chip maker is eliminating 12,000 jobs, or about 11% of its workforce. Intel is shifting its focus away from personal computers, which aren't selling that well.
And another automaker is admitting to falsifying data. Mitsubishi says inaccurate fuel economy tests involved 157,000 of its own cars and nearly 500,000 it made for Nissan, all for sale in Japan.
After making the announcement, Mitsubishi executives bowed in apology.
And Treasury Secretary Jack Lew is expected to make a decision about your money this week. He'll announce whether or not to remove Alexander Hamilton from the $10 bill and add a woman.
Later on Good Morning America, we learn how a popular Broadway show may help Hamilton stay on the bill.
I hope there's a way to do both.
It is. It's possible, I suppose, right?
Wanna
Well, that's
see?
America's money.
Have a great day.
Get ready to experience the movie based on a video game that's about to take over movie theaters everywhere. As a movie.
Pretty sweet, right?
On April 29th.
Our galaxy is in a state of crisis.
Kick.
Bring it on!
Some.
Destroy them all.
Bots.
I find this arrangement embarrassing. Whoa!
Ratchet and Clank. You can see the movie. Rated PG. Play the game. Rated everyone 10 and up.
I try hard to get a great shape. This I can do easily. Benefiber Healthy Shape helps curb cravings. It's a clear, taste-free daily supplement that's clinically proven to help keep me fuller longer. Benefiber Healthy Shape. This I can do. Find us in the fiber aisle.
DSW, where will your shoes take you?
Gas prices are on the rise again, so before you fill up, go to mysuncoast.com for a list of the Suncoast's cheapest gas. ABC 7's Pump Patrol, just another way we're here for you.
At Sunset Subaru, it's all about getting more for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2016 Subaru Forester for just $229 a month. Complimentary maintenance included at the new redesigned Sunset Subaru dealership in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Hey, Vanna, have you heard about the new Wheel of Fortune lottery game?
You bet. It's the ticket for some lucky lottery players to come here to Hollywood.
For a chance to participate in a private, non-broadcast taping of Wheel of Fortune with us.
Play the Florida lottery game for a chance to win up to $250,000 instantly. And enter to win a VIP trip to Hollywood for a chance to win up to $1 million. Non-winning tickets only.
Play the new Wheel of Fortune game today.
Scratch, spin, and win.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best-kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
The spring clearance event is going on now, and the prices are hotter than ever at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Drive America's hottest SUV, a new Jeep Cherokee, for just $19,999. Lease a new Compass for just $199 a month with no tricks, no gimmicks. Just $799 total due at signing. Or buy a new 2000 Jeep Patriot for just $15,799. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, the latest on a series of earthquakes has ravaged parts of Ecuador and Japan, and why the hope for more survivors is running low.
The Big Apple delivers must-wins for the presidential frontrunners in New York's primary.
A legendary golfer kicking off an even more legendary event to look at this week's Concessions Cup.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back. I'm Rebecca Vargas.
And I'm Don Brennan, along with John Scalzi. And, well, it is Wednesday, and it is a little wacky already.
It is wacky, but tell us our weather isn't that wacky.
You know, it's not too bad, actually. We have low relative humidity once again today in the forecast book. So even though the temperatures will be warm once again, I think it'll feel fairly comfortable out there. Winds are a little lighter, so you'll probably see the sea breeze in the afternoon. Keep the shore a tad bit cooler. Most places will hit the mid-80s once again today. We'll have a little bit more high-level clouds, but don't worry, the high-level cloudiness doesn't mean anything in terms of any kind of rainfall today. It should be another dry day here on the Suncoast. Complete forecast coming up in a few.
All right, thank you, John. Taking a look at traffic on the Suncoast roadways. Everything seems to be going well this morning. I knock on wood because I don't want to jinx it. But at 529, all is well in Manatee County. And as you move down into Sarasota County, you will see that that is running along well as well. Looks actually like some heavy traffic on Siesta Drive heading to Siesta Beach, but that's all relative this morning.
Well, topping our news this half hour, families in Ecuador have begun burying loved ones killed in what's being called the country's deadliest earthquake in decades.
The magnitude 7.8 quake struck the region Saturday night, taking at least 508 lives. Officials say hope is fading that any survivors will be found.
In Japan, recovery teams are continuing to find bodies 4 days after 2 earthquakes devastated that area. The death toll is now at 48, and 3 people are reportedly still missing. Back in the States, recovery efforts are still underway in Texas following a series of flash floods.
One of those rescues was caught on camera. The rescuer as well. 2 young men got stranded when their kayak overturned in raging creek waters. An off-road recovery team spotted them hanging on to tree branches. So the team, along with other bystanders, were able to pull them to safety by lowering a strap. You can see one of the kayakers is going to be thanking the man for their help, and they all then headed to rescue another kayaker who was on the other side of the creek. A flash flood watch is in effect in the Houston area through this morning. So far, the floods have claimed the lives of at least 7 people, but these 2 were 2 of the lucky ones. This morning, the front-runners in the presidential race are celebrating big wins in the Big Apple.
Voters in the New York primary gave a boost to the campaigns of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, pushing them closer to locking up their party's nominations.
New York, New York.
The Big Apple delivers must-wins for the presidential frontrunners.
I can think of nowhere that I would rather have this victory.
Today, you proved once again there's no place like home.
Hillary Clinton wins by double digits and takes more than half of the delegates at stake, a blow to Bernie Sanders' recent momentum.
The race for the Democratic nomination is in the home stretch and victory is in sight.
Humongous crowds for Sanders didn't translate at the polls. He blames the state's primary system for denying independent voters.
I would hope that in future primary elections in New York State, the officials there make some fundamental changes about how they do business.
On the Republican side, an even bigger victory for Donald Trump, who walks away with nearly all of the 95 delegates at stake.
We don't have much of a race anymore. Senator Cruz is just about mathematically eliminated.
But Ted Cruz disagrees, brushing off his third-place loss.
And now, my friends, onward to victory.
Both Cruz and John Kasich pushing forward, hoping to win at a contested convention.
Nobody's going to get enough delegates.
The candidates are back on the trail today, with Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, and Pennsylvania all holding contests next week.
The 3 government employees are facing charges in the Flint contaminated water crisis. They're the first criminal charges connected to the crisis. The charges stem from alleged wrongdoing. More than 50 lawsuits have been filed since January, accusing the city of being complicit in the crisis. Now, the river's water-corroded water lines caused lead to seep into the water supply, causing high levels of E. coli, carcinogens, and other toxins. Michigan's Attorney General is expected to announce the charges against the 2 state officials sometime today.
The U.S. Navy is scrapping a recruiting mailer promising women that they could join while still staying in touch with their feminine side. The mailer says the Navy offers women opportunities, quote, most girls aren't even aware of, in careers that, quote, aren't just for the guys, all while keeping their girly habits. Navy officials made the decision to can the mailer after criticism arose that the wording was condescending and perpetuated stereotypes. The mailer went out to over 202,000 people across several states, including Florida. I wonder why they thought it was
condescending. I was going to say, I'm glad they retracted. I was like, oh my goodness gracious.
I'm shocked they would even put that out there.
Yeah, do girly things. You go do your girly things. I'll do my manly things, and we'll meet back here tomorrow morning. How's
Good
that?
job with that.
Now, back here on the Suncoast, traffic is a growing problem on our barrier islands during tourist season, and sometimes even after tourist season.
Even after. Yeah, so now Anna Maria Island officials are looking into changing opening schedules for 2 of the 3 drawbridges leading to the island to help those traffic issues. Island officials are asking the Coast Guard to reduce the bridge openings, and the Sarasota Manatee Metropolitan Planning Organization says that the proposed changes are just a start.
As far as the Anna Maria Island and Cortez bridges go, the bridge opening schedule, if granted, would be to open those bridges every 30 minutes as needed.
The Coast Guard may take another 4 to 6 months to process this request.
And property owners in Venice are one step closer to filling vacant storefronts. According to the Herald Tribune, restaurants and boutiques could soon be lining the streets along East Venice Avenue between Intracoastal Waterway and US 41, the bypass there. The Venice Planning Commission voted 4-3 yesterday to recommend that the City Council allows general commercial uses on land usually zoned for more intense uses, such as automotive repair shops. Now, if their council approves the changes, it would allow some restaurants and shops to open in that area.
Oh, it could be good. Boost the economy in that area.
Good, right, it could be good, but then, you know, like some people want to keep the old-timey feel of Venice, and I've seen other towns where it becomes commercial, and all the Starbucks and McDonald's and everything moves in, and then they're all like, we want the old-time feel.
Well, we'll get to be able to hear from the permanent residents because already the tourism season has come to an end there in Venice.
Well played, well played. Well, while it was better than it has been in recent years, it wasn't as good for business as some had hoped, and ABC7's Christopher Brantley explains.
At the beginning of the season, we visited Venice Stationers and spoke to its owner, Roger Gibson.
The lifeblood, really, of the business. You know, without the tourists, I don't think the business would be here, really.
But how much business did those tourists generate this year?
We had projected, based on our experience with 2014 and 2015, a 6% increase for the season. Didn't quite reach that.
In fact, the Venice Stationers saw around a 2% increase, although an increase nonetheless.
I wouldn't describe the season as not being satisfactory. It just didn't meet expectations.
Gibson says it took longer for the tourists to arrive, and when they got here, not all of them went shopping. That might be because many of them were too busy trying to find somewhere to stay.
And there is an expectation of more hotels on, you know, as options. That hasn't changed any, and in fact the need has grown.
And the number of hotels may be growing too. Ground is set to be broken soon on a hotel in Nokomis, and a developer would like to build a resort near the Venice airport.
One of the advantages of having additional hotel facilities is the ability to capture the drive market.
The drive market are people who come into the area without plans of where to stay. They find a place they like and stop over for a while.
They're coming down, touring around the state, they hear about Venice, they come in, and they want to spend some additional time.
It's those people that keep places like the Venice Stationers up and running.
I probably will maybe be a little more conservative in my projections going forward, but we're not dissatisfied. There's no danger of us having to close the doors. Yeah, we're good. We're solid.
And while Gibson says business this season was good, he does expect it to be better next year. In Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
And maybe it'll be better next year because they'll have even more retailers and restaurants in the storefronts.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
There's always tomorrow.
Yes. Well, a legendary golfer was on the Suncoast to help kick off a special golf tournament this week.
The Golden Bear, Jack Nicklaus, helped this year's Concession Cup tournament and kicked it off yesterday. It features the top amateur golfers in America against those in Great Britain and Ireland. The Concession Golf Club in Manatee County is hosting the event. It's inspired by Nicklaus, who conceded in 1969 a 2-foot putt to the UK's Tony Jacklin. Now both of them have paired up to, you know, highlight the Concession Club, and it was the first ever tie in the history of the Cup. The moment became known as the Concession.
This golf course has a lot of substance to it. You've got to play golf to play it and do well on it, but it's certainly playable and it's certainly scoreable. So I'm proud to be part of the golf course and proud to be part of the Concession Cup.
Day one of the Concession Cup is tomorrow. Yeah, it should be good. Now, also last night, the Game 4 of the playoffs for the Lightning in Detroit. They were up 2-1 with the series lead as they played Game 4 and taking on the Red Wings at Joe Louis Arena. And Nikita Kucherov, he's red hot, and he gets the Bolts on the board first again. Scores on a one-timer in the first period, his 4th goal of the playoffs. So in 4 games, he has 4 goals. He had another one in the second, and picking things up in the third. Game tied at 2 with just minutes left. Andre Palat tips the puck into the net on the power play. In fact, all 3 of the goals were power play goals for the Lightning. They win at 3-2. They have a 3-1 series lead as they come home for Game 5 Thursday night at Amalie. Now the Rays also up north taking on the Boston Red Sox, and that game too was tied. It was a scoreless game late, but then they got a home run from Kevin Kiermaier to break the tie in the 10th inning, and they went on to score a few more runs, add some more. What a game it was. They went on to win 3-0 in extra innings.
All right, Rays.
Yeah.
Looking
Yes,
good.
indeed. Rays and the Lightning looking good. And then supposedly the Bucks added a new quarterback, Dan Lefevre from Western Michigan from years ago. He hasn't played in a while, bounced around. Throw him on the roster of quarterbacks. They're just, trying a lot of things. All right. Cool. And he has some connections to the Suncoast. I used to work out with a gentleman at the Y who knew him and knew his brother's sister's father, something like that.
It always comes back to the Suncoast somehow.
It somehow does,
Yeah.
doesn't it? 6 degrees. We're looking at some pretty nice weather this afternoon. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
And if you're looking to be more eco-friendly, you may want to try checking out your kitchen. We'll tell you why coming up in Health News.
Express yourself in your new Wild Lexus. Lease a new 2016 Lexus ES 350 for only $299 or enjoy 0.9% APR. Just $299 exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
The home at 19 Walker Court. The agent. The rolling of sleeves. The look over. The look under. The application of dirt under fingernails. Turning over every rock. Turning over every chimney. Checking the nooks, checking the crannies, checking the walls. The floors, the gutters, the doors. Finding the flaw, calling the specialist, fixing it, cleaning it, prepping it, painting it, listing it, showing it, selling it. The sign of a RE/MAX agent.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop pad that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
Pomero Shop Furniture. After 66 years in Sarasota, we're still the leader in hard-to-find and custom-made furniture. We have literally thousands of fabrics and patterns to choose from, and our free in-home design consultation will help you create rooms in your home specific to your unique style. Our inventory changes daily, so come in today to see what's new. Plus, anything in our showroom can be part of your home the very next day. Pomero Shop Furniture, now with 3 locations.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl installed by a highly skilled team. G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. So the next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America.
And who knew our pricing was so good?
G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Did you hear? All Children's Hospital is now Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital.
There's a lot to a name.
Especially when that name is a world leader in healthcare.
We still deliver the same compassion we provided for 90 years.
Plus the excellence you expect from Johns Hopkins.
Together we can conquer the biggest challenges and offer your child the very best care.
When it comes to kids, choose Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital.
Express yourself in your new Wild Lexus. Lease a new 2016 Lexus IS 200T for only $299 or enjoy 0.9% APR. Just $299 exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Still have very, very comfortable dew points out there. We have a 57-degree dew point currently at the airport with 84% relative humidity. That's nice. Feels comfortable. Nice, cool, crisp start to the day with 62 the air temperature. East wind comes in at about 6. We'll probably see that east wind shift a little bit more to the southwest in the afternoon as we develop a sea breeze. That'll keep the coast a little bit cooler. Inland temperatures, though, probably hit the 85, 86 degree mark without too much trouble at all. 59 degrees Mayaca. Wauchula, Arcadia, 57 degrees in Punta Gorda. You get closer to the coast, you get closer to the mid-60s. 64 degrees in Venice, 65 Longboat Key, 64 in Inglewood, 60 Bradenton, Parrish, Lakewood Ranch coming in at 62. We have some high, thin clouds that are streaming across the region, but no rainfall in the forecast for today. Again, I don't think we'll see any tomorrow either. Maybe on Friday, late in the day, we might see an isolated shower or two, but that's about it. We stay dry right through the extended range period, basically. Such is not the case back in Texas. Again, today they're having more heavy rainfalls moving through parts of Dallas. They're seeing tremendous thunderstorms with lightning, and it's tough going. There's a potential, too, for development of severe weather a little bit later on today. Houston will see those showers moving closer to them. Kansas City seeing some pretty good thunderstorm activity. So if you're traveling today, again, to this center part of the country, there may be some airport delays because of weather. We're looking at the high, thin clouds moving on past as a little bit of energy will rotate across the Florida peninsula today. Again, no rain falling, just the kind of cloudiness that adds a little bit of a milky appearance to an otherwise blue sky. I think we'll probably see an increase in humidity starting tomorrow. And that because this area of low pressure that was stalled out yesterday has kind of started to what we call open up. That means it's showing signs that it will begin some motion, some movement over the course of the next 24 hours. The low will move off to the east and drag this cold front eastward as well. As that happens, the high pressure ridge, which has been blocking any motion, will start to give way and move out into the Atlantic a little bit more, switching our winds to a more southwesterly direction tomorrow. But for today, generally an easterly flow across the state, east to start with and southeast as we head into the afternoon. And right along the immediate coast, maybe a bit of a sea breeze building as the winds will be generally fairly light. So changes coming our way in the next few days. But for today and probably for most of tomorrow, enjoy the continuing sunny skies, onshore afternoon winds keeping the coast a bit cooler, and rain-free conditions. We're looking at today, those shifting winds bringing us a 10-knot wind on open waters. That'll bring you a light chop. And then as we head into the week ahead, that slight chance of a Friday shower, followed by a very pretty weekend. Back to you.
Looking forward to that. Thank you, John. Taking a look at your commute right now at 547. Looks good so far on most of our roadways in Manatee County. Palmetto bridges are still moving along nicely in both directions. The interstate looks great as well as we head into Sarasota. I'm not seeing any major problems or slowdowns. It looks like the arteries at 75 are good, and so is 41. No issues on interstate right now, and South County still looking good. No accidents to report there. On health news this morning, a federal health agency has notified Florida and other states that it violates federal law to ban Medicaid funding for family planning services at clinics that also offer elective abortions.
And this likely blocks a controversial provision of a new abortion law recently signed by Governor Rick Scott. It seeks to bar state agencies and local government entities from using public funds to contract with organizations that are affiliated with licensed abortion clinics. The U.S. Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services says the Social Security Act's free choice of provider provision guarantees Medicaid beneficiaries the right to see the provider of their choice.
Well, if you have them, you probably despise them, but love handles can actually be turned into a life-saving transplant. Researchers reprogram fat cells from a person's waistline into pancreatic cells capable of producing the crucial hormone insulin. If further testing shows that the cells are safe to implant into a person's body and effectively produce insulin once they're there, they could one day be used to treat people with either type 1 or type 2 diabetes. In a petri dish, Swiss researchers coax these reprogrammed pancreatic cells called beta cells to produce ample amounts of insulin. Pretty incredible.
That is incredible.
It's amazing. type 1 diabetes and type 2 could be gone with something like this.
That would be nice for me and my family.
Yes. Well, health regulators are teaming up with minor league baseball teams.
It's part of a new campaign to discourage teens from using chewing tobacco. The latest campaign is targeted towards white rural males. According to the FDA, males in this group are most likely to use dip, chew, and other smokeless tobacco products. Last year, the FDA launched a campaign using hip-hop music to educate African Americans and other minority youth groups about smoking risks, such as gum disease and cancer. And if you're looking to make your home more eco-friendly, a good place to start is the kitchen.
Yeah, for starters, try using the dishwasher more. Studies show that a load in the dishwasher uses nearly 40% less water. And if you're not planning to cook for a large group, opt to use a small convention oven instead. Slow cookers are another great option for conserving energy. And instead of packing your groceries in paper or plastic, try using reusable canvas bags. They can drastically minimize plastic waste and its impact on the environment. And of course, recycling is always a good habit to have.
It is. Now, I have those canvas bags, like I think about 15 of them now.
Yeah.
And I always have a bunch with me in the car. But I always forget to bring them in. Always.
Get in the habit.
Because, you know, I do like off the cuff, go to the grocery store and like I need something and totally forget.
Leave them in your trunk and then never forget.
They're always there, I just forget.
Stay with us.
We'll be right back.
It's Ram Truck Month, and that means big savings on some of America's best vehicles at Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Sarasota. Get America's best value. A new Grand Caravan for just $18,999 or a new Dodge Journey for just $17,999. Stop by today to shop the area's biggest selection of Ram trucks and save up to $8,000 on your new Ram. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram in Sarasota.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Looking for carpet? Look no further. Minnesota Flooring has Smart Strand carpet as low as $1.79 per square foot. Installed, no add-ons or extras. Unbelievable? Minnesota Flooring can have in-stock carpet installed in your home in 48 hours for as low as $1.99 per square foot. Don't miss these prices. Visit Minnesota Flooring today.
It's a mortgage sale for a limited time at Trustco Bank, no application fee. Stop in any branch today. Save even more with low closing costs. See why your neighbors choose Trustco Bank. Visit TrustcoBank.com for details.
Your hometown bank, Trustco.
Equal housing lender.
Attention! This is an important message for anyone who had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to their heart or lungs. Did your IVC filter move, break, or cause organ damage? The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, even death. If you or a loved one suffered serious complications, call IVC Filter Helpline now. You may be entitled to compensation. IVC filters are designed to prevent blood clots. If your IVC filter moved or broke and you suffered heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, or if a loved one died as a result, call IVC Filter Helpline today. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You'll pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call today for a free confidential consultation. Don't fight this alone. Call IVC Filter Helpline now.
Please call 800-897-6764. That is 800-897-6764.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
At Sunset Subaru, it's all about getting more for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2016 Subaru Forester for just $229 a month. Complimentary maintenance included at the new redesigned Sunset Subaru dealership in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Welcome back. Here's what's coming up in our 6 o'clock hour. Despite city commissioners refusing to approve a plan that would have given voters a chance to decide when city elections should be held, some taxpayers are taking the matter into their own hands by putting together a petition. Plans are still up in the air about what to do with Duet Elementary School in Manatee County, and the Sarasota Arts Conservatory is taking its talents to Washington, D.C. for a prestigious festival by the Smithsonian Museum.
Meet Dr. Erin Curry. Not the human, but a red panda baby who was just introduced at the Milwaukee Zoo. She's named after the zoo worker who kept track of the pregnancy. And Dr. Erin Curry, the panda, is 9 months old and getting to know her new roommate, Dash. Together, they may be too much cuteness to handle, but Dash and the doctor, that's what we'll be calling them from here on in. It's like a mini-series. And 2 elderly African elephants are retiring to sunny South Florida. It's amazing because nobody ever retires to South Florida. Lisa and Sita are 42 and 47. They arrived at Zoo Miami yesterday after taking in a 23-hour-long drive from Virginia and the Virginia Zoo there. The move follows an association of zoos and aquariums recommendations that zoos should keep elephants in herds to support their psychological health. In other words, it's basically in the best interest of elephants.
I kind of like to draw the parallels to kind of being the Golden Girls. And they're coming down here to what I'm going to consider the Club Med for elephants.
Lisa and Sita joined 2 other elderly female elephants at Zoo Miami. The zoo is the only one in the continental U.S. that is in subtropical climates where mammals can stay outdoors year-round. And Zoo Miami really is a special. Ron McGill, that guy is, I've listened to him in interviews on radio shows. And he is amazingly knowledgeable. I love listening to him.
Yeah?
I could listen to him all day.
He's he runs the place down there?
Yes, he's the zoo man, the zookeeper, the zoo specialist.
Well, it's great they're doing that because, you know, animals, the elephants are very social animals.
Keep them together in their herd.
Yeah, they all participate in rearing the young. They mourn when one of them dies. I mean, they're special animals.
They have great memories.
So I'm told. I can't remember.
Yeah. Need a little piece of that memory. It's 5:26. We'll be right back.